Hello and welcome everybody. It's day 2 at Tech Open Air. My name is Felicitas, I'm from VentureVillage, and I'm sitting here with Jonathan Christensen, the co-founder from Wired. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
You were here yesterday having a talk about the freedom of communication.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us what that was about?
Well, I was explaining sort of how I participated over the years in the free revolution, and the free revolution was kind of the transformation of telecom from very expensive, very low fidelity to internet-based free, and that revolution has gone full cycle now. And our aspiration is communications reborn. So we're looking at what is the next thing. What is the platform enabling us to do today versus free? So the
next one is that we get paid to communicate.
No, so the stage after free isn't expensive again. You know, free is just the baseline, and our thesis is that the next wave, which is enabled by these devices and the network, is higher fidelity, more expression, more security, and all your devices included. So not just for your mobile or not just for your desktop, but in perfect sync across all of your devices.
Do you shortly want to explain what Wired does for the listeners and viewers that don't know your startup?
Sure. The tagline on our website is Messaging Reborn. So essentially we're a messaging app. We run on Apple devices, on Android devices. We have a desktop experience with Wire for Web. And all those are perfectly in sync. And we do messaging, pictures. We have a very expressive drawing sketch application that allows users to create kind of their own emojis and send them very personalized. We do HD calling, so it does group conversations. So it's a full-fledged messenger, but with a new take on design and aesthetic.
It seems that currently a lot of people go into messaging, and I think if I look on my front view on my phone, I have, I think, 6 or 7 messaging apps.
Mm-hmm.
Tap Talk, WhatsApp, Messenger from Facebook, yada, yada, yada. I know that you guys take on the security part, but in how far do you really differ from the others, except for the stuff that you just said, or how do you get new customers to join the conversation? Because what I see right now is that I have different messengers communicating with different people, but most of the time, or most of my friends still stay on WhatsApp, and it's getting harder and harder for me to install more and more apps to communicate on different levels. How do you address that?
Yeah, it's a very, very crowded market for sure. And we just hope that, since our launch, we just keep adding things, and we add them in ways that are about our core value, about expressiveness, and also about security. And so we just hope that attracts people, and that the application is welcoming enough that they're willing to share it with their friends. So when we introduced the GIF feature just recently, we just saw an explosion of pictures in the app. So just in one day, 3 times as many. And people just were like, they type in hello, or they type in funny, or they type in whatever, their favorite car, and they press the GIF button, and they see something totally surprising, and the other side laughs, and then instantly they're sharing it with another friend. So it's about creating an experience that's different and more expressive.
Can you share a little bit about your numbers? Because I remember when you guys first launched, because you have Skype people in your company as well.
Yep.
It felt like it was the new Skype, or like reborn Skype. Well, a lot of my friends still use Skype, and I got all these larger devices to have more space to install all of the apps.
Yep.
However, it felt that when you guys first launched, there was a peak, like loads of people jumped on board. How did that develop? Or what is your strongest market also?
Strongest market is Berlin by city, but the United States overall, which is sort of surprising. If you look at applications like WhatsApp, for example, they're very much targeting a scenario where people are the free scenario. They're trying to avoid the cost of SMS. So in some countries in Europe, they have nearly 100% penetration on devices, but in the United States, it's very low. And we didn't, this is sort of proof of our concept. We're not going after that free thing. We're not an SMS replacement. We really want to be a communications channel with richness in it. So yeah, we had a fantastic launch. And we saw a lot of pickup in Germany because there was a lot of German press, and we're here, our office is here. And then, things slowed down after the launch a bit, but you know, we're adding users every day, and people our reviews are great in the app stores, so people are liking it.
It is quite beautiful, I have to say.
Thank you.
Can you share something how you get new people on board?
All of the growth so far has been organic. You know, of course, I came and spoke here yesterday, and there were 250, 300 people in the audience, and we saw new users come on yesterday, specifically from Berlin. So those things have an effect, but it's mostly organic. It's about people liking the app and then telling a friend, and getting a friend on board.
You said that your service is for free, but that's not the core feature, because that's what everybody does. Is there a business model behind your business?
Not yet. We're still in the stage of acquiring users and getting the app in the kind of shape that we want. But we have some ideas. We have some good ideas.
Feeling like talking about it?
Not really.
Not yet. Okay. All right. No problem.
Yeah.
With communication being free in the internet, a lot of I personally have the feeling it's mostly adults speaking about there's too much communication, our kids are only in front of their smartphones, or 10, 15 years ago was my kids are only on AOL chats. People have always been talking too much. Years and years and years ago was my kid is reading too much or watching too much television or something. How do you feel about too much communication, or is there a moment where you turn off your phone because you just don't want to be available anymore?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we have an interesting feature in the app. We have a lot of group chats in the app, and some of them are very big, and some of them are very, very active. And you just don't want to receive a notification for every message that comes into that big group chat. So you can selectively mute those, and you know which ones are important. So obviously I'm not going to mute the channel with my wife, or my family and my kids, but I have a cars chat, and people just post pictures of Porsches in there all day long, and so it's muted. And when I want to go read it, I go read it, and it's sort of like there's kind of the utility thing, and then that's the just staying in touch and up to date, and then there's more like the sit back and browse thing, and I think that our app is one of the few that is both of those. That like the photo chats that we have, you take them at your leisure, and you just go through the photos, and you might comment on one or something like that.
So would that be WhatsApp meets Tumblr meets Instagram in one app?
Yes, sort of. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
And the way that we display photos is so wonderful, and they're high resolution, and so it is. We had this early concept when we were developing this, that we didn't want to just be the utility, and so we called it a place and a tool. So the tool is when you just want to ping somebody and get in touch with them and say, hey, I'm at the market. What can I pick up? And the place is when you want to browse through the photos of a group of people that share a common interest, for example.
Speaking of common interest, that's what people do when they're here at Tech Open Air. Is this your first Tech Open Air?
First one, yep.
How do you like it so far?
I think it's fantastic. So I spoke in front of a very engaged crowd, and that was nice. People, like-minded people, very technical orientation, but also very cultural, and a lot of different cultures coming here. At Wire, we have 23 different nationalities in the Berlin office. So, we're very multicultural too, and sort of representative of this kind of scene, and this is very much in line with us. I mean, it's super hip.
This is very Berlin, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very Berlin, exactly.
Yeah. And is there something specific, or except for your own talk, a topic that you're looking for to listen to during these days?
Well, I'm super busy during these days, so I'll spend a couple of hours here today and look over the thing. But there were lots of topics in the in the registry that were super interesting. I came here before my talk yesterday and saw the two talks before, which were very good. So I think that the quality in general is high, and the organization is nice, and again, it has this really vibrant, kind of Berlin feeling.
Yeah, it is the summer conference, I feel, for tech people in Berlin.
Yeah.
That being said, anything you would like to add, except for maybe a link to the app stores?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Wire.com. Check out our app. And give us your feedback. We're always looking for feedback on Twitter and anywhere that in social media that you want to put it. Great. Thank you.
Thank you very much for being here.
You bet. Thank you.
And enjoy.
Yeah.